So academic honesty is very important. When you do a piece of writing, it's important that that piece of writing is your own work, your own effort. So don't plagiarize, don't use ghostwriters or paper mills, don't make up, alter or omit data, don't delete or alter records or keep poor records of your own work, because you need to be able to show what you've done to people in the future. And don't cheat or help others to cheat, for example, in written, oral examinations, coursework or group projects. In terms of publishing, doing these kinds of things could end up with you getting blacklisted by a journal. And of course, because most of academic publishing is dominated by just a few publishing companies, you may end up getting blacklisted from all of the journals that a particular publisher publishes. So if you get in trouble with one Taylor and Francis journal or one Springer Nature journal or one Wiley journal, you could have a problem with all of the journals that they publish. So that's something that's well worth keeping in mind. Other ethical questions that we often get asked: should I share my slides after I've given a conference talk? Should I share my work if it's not published yet? Well, one way to get around this is to consider using preprints. You can upload a preprint of your work before sharing your slides. Then you can put a DOI or a CC license number onto your presentation. We always say to people, if your slides contain published research, then it's a good thing to share them far and wide. Make sure each slide has the relevant citations, the relevant document object identifier numbers to pull people back to your papers, because that, of course, is going to increase your citation rate. But if your work is not published yet, then it might not be such a good idea to talk about it at a conference if you haven't protected your intellectual property, if you haven't thought about considering the use of a preprint server, for example. And also, think about who's in the audience, who's going to be listening to your work, who's going to be potentially able to get access to your unpublished data. Who's requesting? Is it a colleague you know? Have you worked well with them in the past? Or is it someone from a competing research team? This slide summarizes what we refer to as ghost authorship and gift authorship. Ghost authorship is where somebody who did lots of work writing a paper is not included as an author. So that might include situations where you pay somebody to write a paper for you, which is called ghostwriting, very common in medical and pharmaceutical fields, but is it ethical? Gift authorship is more problematic, much harder to police. This is where somebody who did not contribute to an article is nevertheless included as an author. So, for example, your boss, the director of a research group, institute. It's common, especially in papers written by early career researchers. But is it ethical? Those are some areas of confusion, some areas of debate.